Hello subscribers and other YouTube friends. What we're going to do today is have a little go at DIY plumbing, in particular end feed fittings. How difficult can it be? Certainly a damn sight cheaper than using compression fittings, brass or probably plastic ones, I don't really know, but certainly end feed is the way to go. So in this little video, it's going to take a couple of minutes. We'll see how we get on and try to explain how simple it is to do end feed fittings. Right, the main thing is that both ends of the copper tube that are going to be joined together need to be spotlessly clean, and so you're going to do that using wire wool. So if you use your wire wool, you will eventually get that clean enough. So I'm going to just take that off and then we'll see how it looks. Just use steel wool for cleaning your pipes. This is the stuff, comes in big chunks. Get it from the hardware shop or the plumbing merchants. Just rotate your steel wool around there, and I just wish I had a bit bigger chunk of it. But the other end too. If that's not clean, your joint's not going to work. So this is vitally important. There we are. So when you're happy with that, you're going to be all set to go. Now we're going to use this, what is known as LA soldering flux you get from any plumber's merchant. Sometimes they come with a brush fixed to the lid. On this occasion we haven't. Some people like to stir it up a little bit just to get some oxygen in there. Then we're going to apply a small layer of this to the areas of the copper tube that are going to be soldered. Now, if it comes with a brush, that's nice because it's a little bit harsh on the skin. You don't want too much of it. We're just going to just put a very thin layer on there, just on the area that's going to be soldered, all the way round. It's vitally important because this is the stuff that's going to help the flux flow around the entire tube and create a watertight seal. So just make sure there's enough on there. Now personally, these end feed fittings, ideally you can give that a little rub around on the inside with the steel wool if you feel like it. And then I like to put a little bit of flux on the inside of there, just to belt and braces, just to belt and braces the whole shooting match. Then we're going to pop that on the pipe, join the other end up, and make sure that it goes all the way home. Now, if you're not sure whether it's going all the way in, you can always mark it before you flux it up with a pencil so that when you squeeze the two ends together, you can see that you have actually got it all the way in. Right, so we've coated both ends of the tube with LA coat flux. We join the two pieces together right up until they bang up against each other. Now if you were doing exhibition soldering, you probably wouldn't have quite as much flux lashing about the place there, but we're not. So we've got some lead-free solder. Just unwind that. You get that from any plumber's merchant or one of the big sheds. Now I like to just bend it over a bit at the end, like that, about an inch. Then you know how much you're using. Right, get your little blow lamp going. This is just a little head that you can fits onto a tube of gas that you can get anywhere. And what I'm going to do is just slowly warm this up. Personally, I don't like to do it too ferociously. I just let it warm up slowly. Have your bit of have your solder ready, and eventually this will warm up, become red hot, and the solder will then flow. If it's not hot enough, the solder won't do anything. So we just gently warm this up, making sure you're not setting fire to the background if you've got timber. If you're working under the floorboards, for example, you've got to be very careful you don't set the joists on fire. In the airing cupboard, in those tight spaces where there might be wood shavings lying around, always use a piece of metal, sheet metal or something in the background to stop the heat. So this might be getting warm now. No, not quite enough. Obviously, if there's any water in your pipe, you've got no chance of this solder working, because the water inside the pipe will just boil and you're never going to get your copper tube hot enough. Nearly there. Obviously, with the fatter pipes, ideally you want to get the heat all the way around. The little 15mm tubes is easy enough. So slowly warming up. Obviously, you can just turn the gas up to flat out and you will just roar this up. Personally, I'd rather do it slowly. Even if it does make the video a bit longer. Okay, I'm going to jack it up a little bit. There we go. That solder's just running now. And the idea is the solder will run all the way around the joint. And you can see we've nearly used that inch of solder there now. There's that side. Obviously both sides should virtually be the same temperature. See that solder going around there? Now that is flowing inside the joint, and that will be hot enough and sealed. And I will give you a 100% guarantee that that is sealed. Some people don't like to put too much solder on there. They say that you get gulps and snots and things, but you know, I'd rather just have a few blobs around the place and it's sealed. Now that would be red hot, but that will take a few minutes to go cool enough, and technically that is 100% watertight now. And you could have done the same job with one of these fittings that already comes with the solder built in, much more expensive. When you can do it this way, you're saving money, and actually the joints take up less space as well. 100% job. I hope that helps some of you to see how easy it is to do soldering, end feed soldering at home. Easy peasy, anyone can do it. Well, you might say, well, how do we know if it's flowed all the way around? Well, if the tube's hot enough and you've put enough flux on there, the solder will flow all the way around. It might look a bit skinny there because it's not a mess, but believe me, solder will have flowed all the way up to that halfway joint, and that is waterproof, or watertight I should say. It may not be as pretty as the 30-year guys, but it's still a job done. But what we might do now, just for the fun of it, is do the reverse procedure. Now here's an old fitting that's already soldered up, so I'm going to put some flux on there, give it a lashing of flux, and we'll see if we can get the thing to undo itself. That is how your fitting's going to look after you've soldered it properly. Thanks for watching everyone, and hopefully some of you found that useful and gave you a bit of confidence to do your own end feed fittings. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be very nice. It's always good to have a few more subscribers, and you'll be able to see what else we get up to in the world of DIY. Thank you.